My name is Caleb Courtney, and I want to take you on a tour with me for Leadership Wilmington 2024. Leadership Wilmington is an 8-month-long hands-on immersion program put on by the Wilmington Chamber of Commerce. There's 8 months and there's 8 different sessions. Each class is a new topic and a new concept that we're going to dive deep into. So if you're interested to look under the hood into Wilmington a little bit closer, I encourage you to follow along. I'm going to make a video for each one. This is Session 1, Arts and Culture. We started off with an in-depth review from Jan Davidson, who's a local historian of the history of Wilmington. We talked about the city's evolution from the 1850s, highlighting its foundation in slavery and the importance of the Wilmington and Walden Railroad. We discussed the African-American advancements in the post-Civil War and the shifting demographics that would eventually lead up to a transformative event in Wilmington's history, the 1898 coup d'etat. This is an event that would forever shape racial and socioeconomic dynamics. We heard from Rhonda Bellamy, who's the executive director of the Arts Council of Wilmington. She shared her inspiring journey, drawing from her extensive experience in radio and arts advocacy. Next, we split up and we actually went to the Cameron Art Museum. We split up into 2 groups and we actually got to walk through with one of the curators and talk about the exhibits that they had, how they get those exhibits, how they communicate with the artist, and how they pick what exhibits they're going to be on display. It was actually a pretty cool moment here where one of the exhibits featured the Arabic language kind of set up in a globe. And one of our classmates, Sarah, was actually able to read Arabic and actually translated it there for us, which was a really, really neat moment. After the touring museum, next we had the opportunity to sit down with Wilmington Film Commissioner Johnny Griffin. I don't know if you know this or not, but Wilmington's a pretty popular film destination. One of the biggest notable ones would be Iron Man 3. There's a very famous one called One Tree Hill. Last year, it's The Summer I Turned Pretty. It was also filmed here. And Wilmington has resources for the film community. We have 2 really big sound stages here in Wilmington. Screen Gym Studios that has a long-lasting history here. And then recently, Dark Horse Studios that just opened up. So we spoke about the opportunity for production in Wilmington and how the local film commission works to talk with those producers to bring film to Wilmington and create more film jobs. After that, we were led on a Black History tour by Atiba Johnson. Atiba is a very well-known local entrepreneur and advocate for business development, and especially in the minority community. We dove into discussions about Black history. Our journey included tours through government subsidized housing communities where we dove into the challenges and the struggles faced by the residents that live there. Through this, I feel like we've got a deeper understanding of what life is like in these communities. After that, we actually got to head over to the Cape Fear Museum. We learned more about the Cape Fear region and its history and the local ecosystem and all the things you normally would see at the museum. And of course, I had to stop by the Michael Jordan exhibit. Who wouldn't? You know I had to. Once that concluded, we then went to our last stop of the day, which was a tour of Wilmington's famous Thalian Hall. Thalian Hall was built back in 1858. We were toured around Thalian Hall by County Commissioner Rob Zappel. He told us about the history of Thalian Hall. He also told us about a massive renovation that took place in 2010 where they gutted the place and basically put it back together. This theater originally served multiple functions, including the local government's home. It was a library and the region's premier opera house and theater. And at a time when Wilmington was North Carolina's largest city, Thalian Hall could seat about 1,000 people, which was about 10% of the town's population. After talking about the history of Thalian, we got a full backstage tour and we got to see all the memorabilia from all the shows that came through. And then we got to go upstairs where the city council chamber actually meets. Amazing to think that crucial decisions about the city have been made and are continuing to be made right here inside this building. And for our last session of Leadership Wilmington, I think we're actually going to get to sit in on a council meeting, and I'm so excited about that. And really, that's a wrap on Session 1, Arts and Culture. Get it? That's a wrap. I got to say, it was incredible to learn about Wilmington's rich arts and culture history, starting all the way at the beginning of how the town came to be. And I'm so thankful for these engaging tours and these insightful discussions. And this day left me feeling a lot more connected to the diverse heritage and the amazing rich history that Wilmington has. So thanks for coming along on my quick tour of our Leadership Wilmington Session 1. Stay tuned for Session 2.